driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning, everybody. Just doing a little bit of sharing. I had therapy this morning. I really like my therapist. Dude, just stop. My cat wants everything to do with me for right now. Somebody gave me a badge in one of their groups, so I'm going to post in their group and see what happens. Let's do that. Whoa! Surprise, surprise. Good morning, Jerry. Fine, come here. I don't want you behind there. There's too many cords. Come here. Get on. Get on. Come here. Quit rubbing on all that stuff, please. Not everything I own needs to smell like you. Come here. Come here. Come here. Somebody wants attention. Yes, you do. Huh? Notice how when cats want something, they're very insistent, aren't they? Kind of like an alcoholic. Huh? Except your brain too small. You don't know any better, do you? Do you? Huh? So, yeah. It's not the end of it. Okay. Can I do this thing, please? All right. No, I can't. Quit biting me. Okay. Now you're fucking things up. Goodbye. All right. Sorry, everybody. I'm highly distracted today. I just have some hard things that I need to deal with today, and I don't really want to. Lately I've just kind of felt on Friday, and actually I feel the same way today. I'm tired. I don't want to hear any more, but I don't want to hear everybody's problems. I think I may have overdid myself a little bit, and we gotta be careful of that stuff. But I have a passion, man, and I want when I go for a ride and I see people sleeping on the streets, it reminds me of why I'm doing what I'm doing. Right? The forgotten people. We talk about them all the time, but we don't do anything about it. People just say, bring me your weak, bring me your broken, bring me your... Okay. Why should we bring them? Why aren't you meeting them? That's my question. Why are we set up to where everybody has to meet somebody else? Oh, because you gotta want it. I'm going to challenge you to come spend 3 days in detox and watch us turn an unwilling person into a willing person. There was one person I was working with, and I'm like, I had to a point where this person they're not willing. What am I going to do? And I went to one of my coworkers and told them, man, she turned his ass around. It was so awesome to see. It needed a different person is what it needed. And I was feeling my own inadequacy. At that point, it's probably best to pass them on. Right? And it worked. She got that person help. She even drove him there. Right? God do that. I'm so glad I went to her because now that person got help. And guess what? It wasn't me that had to do it. It was a different person. But I was the person that it started with, and I had to do the right thing, because it's not about me. None of this is about me. Well, almost all of it is about me, because I don't have my experience, my strength, and my hope, right? All right, let's get to the reading. Today we are going to be reading out of As Bill Sees It on page 271. I intentionally went out and found one that has a Bill Sees It because I felt like doing that today. I almost didn't do Daily Trudge today. And then I went to therapy. So, hey, Amy. Good afternoon. Scarcely, I've had a nasty. Oh no, you are just fine, Amy. You never owe me an apology for that stuff. But thank you. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel a part of when people do that. So, all right, AA in 2 words. All AA progress can be reckoned in terms of just 2 words: humility and responsibility. Our whole spiritual development can be accurately measured by our degree of adherence to these magnificent standards. It's pretty big words in there. Now, our whole spiritual development can be accurately measured by our degree of adherence to these magnificent standards. Now, does anywhere in here, does it say how much time you must need? Right, I'm on a big quality over quantity kick right now, so get used to it. I'm gonna be on I get on those kicks. All right, quantity, quality. My dyslexia is kind of putting it, rearing its ugly head a little. I intentionally did dyslexia and still made it sound like it was a complete sentence, but it wasn't. I don't know why I do weird shit like that. You know what? I know I'm sane now, but gosh, I still feel like I'm crazy. So, how's humility going to help me with that? I'm not really crazy. People think I am crazy, but I'm not. You know, it's just a way to describe some of my actions, right? Because I bring up a lot of tough topics. Why? I don't want to sit down for 20 minutes and yeah, our lives are unmanageable, and no, we're gonna get into this shit. We're gonna dig. I want you to think. I need to think. I learn a lot when I do these things. Oh, the best way to learn is to teach. That's what I found. And I love teaching other people. That's humility. Okay? Humility is me coming on here, you coming on here, and us having these discussions without any expectation of anything in return. That's humility in its basic form. Doing something for somebody else without any thought of return. This is why I always say, even if you're a recovery coach or a peer sports specialist, or you become a therapist or a CAD or a CAC or something, you must still do service work. Oh, I work 40 hours a week in the field, so I'm covered. No, you're not. That has nothing to do with your recovery. You're getting paid to do that. There's no humility, but there is responsibility. Sure, there's responsibility in working someplace like that. Right? So don't forget about your home AA group. There's nothing wrong with going out and being a recovery coach or anything else. if you do it the right way. But first, you best check your fucking intentions. And for the love of God, have over a year and work the steps first. Why? Because you are not a complete person until then. Okay? Because it says on page 164, you cannot transmit something you do not have. And if you do not have over a year, how are you going to tell somebody else how to do it? Would you want somebody with 1 month to be your sponsor? Would you be comfortable with that? I sure the hell wouldn't. Ever deepening humility, accompanied by an ever grading willingness to accept and to act upon clear cut obligations. I was just talking about this with step 13 yesterday. That it's going on in our rooms, but we're not saying or doing anything. And I am. Okay? Because now it's recovery coaches doing this to us. They're coming in. They grab these young people, 21, 22, easily swayed. Before you know it, they're not going to meetings anymore. If you work for a company and the company is in recovery and your boss is also in recovery and they are not going to meetings, quit. You need to leave. Because they are not working a program. They're in it for the wrong reasons. Now, I will agree that there are some people that complete the program, they're in it for a while, and they move on to something else. My mother did that. My mother got like 45 years of sobriety. She's been sober since I was 14, 1984, 84, 94, 2004, 2024. I'm way off, aren't I? I'm way off. 84, 94, 2004, 2014. That's what I was missing. Okay. Yeah, so I was right. Okay. Somebody else do the math. I suck at math. Anyway. And to act upon clear-cut obligations. What's another clear-cut obligation? Newcomer comes and says, hey, I'm having a hard time. And I need help. That's your cue. Go over and talk to them. Oh, if they want me, if I say something nice and eloquent in the meeting, maybe that person will come over and ask me to be their sponsor. And then it doesn't happen. And then you feel low. It's because you did it the wrong way. You feel bad about it because you had a responsibility. You had a clear-cut responsibility and you shit on it. Hey, look at me. I want to be your sponsor. The next person that I hear in a meeting that bitches that nobody is asking them to sponsor them, I'm going to go off. I'm going to pull out this book right here. I'm going to read Working with Others. Okay? Read the 12th step in the 12 by 12. I am correct on this. Okay? And I'll say this just real quick. It used to be in the meetings that we would say, if you are looking for a sponsor, please raise your hand. That's how it was. I don't know what happened. Anyway, okay. These are truly our touchstones for all growth in the life of the Spirit. They hold up to us the very essence of right being and right doing. It is by them that we are enabled to find and do God's will. So, humility accompanied by an ever-grading willingness to accept and act upon clear-cut obligations. And that has nothing to do with the responsibility statement. So the responsibility statement was created for professionals. They're actually talking about hospitals, therapists, doctors, lawyers. That's what they're talking about in the responsibility statement. Now, bring that topic up at a meeting and see what else you get. Because it could be more than that, can it? Yeah. When anyone anywhere reaches out for help, I want the hand of AA to be there. And for that, I am what? Responsible. We say it. We say it. I'm not going to finish it. To acknowledge and respect the views, accomplishments, and prerogatives of others, and to accept being wrong shows me the way of humility. You, my friends, have the right to be wrong, especially if it's going to make it right. Remember, I just talked about a person saying that I didn't feel like they were willing, and then I handed him off to another person before I knew it. Something else was going on. Right? That is to say, I was wrong and I had to reach out for help. Okay? Why did that matter? Because it wasn't about Dion. It was about the person in trouble. To practice the principles of AA in all my affairs guides me to be responsible. Honoring these precepts gives credence to Tradition 4 and to all other traditions of the fellowship. Alcoholics Anonymous has evolved a philosophy of life full of valid motivations, rich in high relevant principles and ethical values. A view of life which can be extended beyond the confines of the alcoholic population. What they just said was help people. That's it. Rich and high relevant principles and ethical values. That's us that they're talking about, right? And ethical values, a view of life. Now we see life differently, which can be extended beyond the confines of our alcoholic community, population. Just the other day, I was talking about we have some people on here that are normies. And I don't even like calling them normies. Let's call them non-alcoholic. Okay? We'll call them near beers. I actually have a lot of non-alcoholic people in my group because we feel our way can work for anybody. A lot of addictions are different. The addiction to alcohol is much different than any other addiction, but recovery is the same. Right? Alcoholics were born. We're born with the disease, my friends. Okay? Not anybody can be an alcoholic, but anybody can be a drug addict. Yet, recovery is the same. Recovery is the same. I think that's what I got for today. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. We had some people here. We had Jerry. We had Gary. We had Amy. Amy's feeling better. Yay! Glad you're feeling better, honey. And Kathy, you were here. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I love you. Peace out. And have a day.